Um, Hello, my name Dr. Talil Abrahiem, fellow professor in organization management and technology. Today, in my presentations, I'm going to explain the subsidiary level strategy and how it's going to be connected with the headquarters level strategy, and also what it has to do with the global structure and design for multinationals organization. This is a good subject for the globalization and what the manager has to do to examine his decision for the competitive advantage and how to create a models will fit that organization and to be successful in the global market. To examine that decision, it has to do with generic strategy. Global generic strategy is important. To understand how this one it works, we have to understand two things. First is cost leadership's strategy. Another one is differentiation leadership's strategy. What I mean by these two? Cost leadership's strategy, it has to do with the low skills, low cost, and low prices. And the example for this one is like Walmart's strategy, how they use it. They give to the customer everything in low cost. So the money, they don't want to spend it inside the store for the fixtures, for the lighting, whatever it has to do, they put it in the products so they can give the merchandising to the customers in good and cheap prices. And the same thing for China. When they start imported all the Western cars, it's cheap for them because they don't need that skills, and they give them also low cost, and the customer, they buy it a lot. So these organizations, these kind of models, they use low cost strategy. And when they use this kind of cost plus strategy, they becomes successful, and they reach, after the manager implement these strategy, and they're going to reach something it's called value creations frontiers. What that mean? That means is reach the top of the profitability to that firm. Because the more sale you do, the more profit you're going to make, and it's going to beat the year before for the productivities, and the growth will rise. Let's move with what I meant by differentiations strategy. Differentiation strategy, it has to do with the firms or the organization to create something unique. Another organization, they don't have it. If this product, the consumer will pay more money for it. Example for that one, like if we see in the automobiles, we see BMW, Mercedes, Ferrari. People, they pay the money, and still the customer buy it. It has costs a lot of cost, and it's expensive. But some other firms, they don't make these kind of things. Something give them the technology the powers, the performance, people want. Rolex watches, same thing. Apple computers, you see that the people buy it. All the times as a new technology comes in the market, they buy it. The same thing, the differentiations is reach also the value creation of frontiers, the top of the curves, and the organization which shows much profitability, the company. You're going to ask how those two things working together between differentiations and low cost, and how this model work and how it's work these models. It's work about, number one, is about innovation. Innovation is very important to become those firms successful. Something new in the market. They innovated something new. Number two, technology. It has to do. And you see every day the technology, they come up with new technology. Computers, Apples, you see 6 plus 7, and on and on. And the people, they keep buying it for the new technology. Quality, efficiency, responsiveness to the customer. All these things, that's what the manager implemented in his models, the generic models, global models, to become any firms successful in the market. Let me give you another example. First Global Express, that's a package company also, versus UPS and FedEx. As you know, UPS and FedEx, they have their own planes, and they have a hub. What does mean? If the packages, for example, you want to ship a package from New York to London. So they take the packages from New York, it goes to the hub in Memphis, Tennessee, and the next day it goes to England. This First Global Express by the CEO, Justin Brown, came this idea. They deliver the packages less than 24 hours. They have no airplanes, but what they did some kind of contract with United, Continentals. They pick up the packages and they deliver 12 states in the Eastern. Now they're going to expand more to do something also in the West. So they deliver the packages less than other competitors within 24 hours. This one, as an example for you, to explain is how to respond to the customers and the quality and the customer service. So when they use this one here, they did themselves also differentiations at other organization, and they offer also cost leaderships, because if they meet together, we're going to see that's a broad differentiation from another organization, and to become successful. $10 million business. I'm going to give you another example. Zynga. The one is online social gaming. This one also, it has the headquarters in San Francisco. And they have almost 1,200 employees. And they divided some of their employees to A and B. They ask the customer what they need, another one they implement, and they create always new games. social gaming. It takes them sometimes 2 years to make a game. And they ask the customer how they like this game, how is this one is working, with the quality. They take the idea and they implement it. Innovation, technology, quality, customers. And they became successful in the business. Also, I try to give you another example about the subsidiary and how this idea, it goes to the headquarters, and from the headquarters it goes globally. You know, subsidiaries level strategy is dealing with the local people. And the local people, sometimes they have pressure on them, sometimes they give them idea. You don't tell me what you mean by subsidiary. Subsidiary, like, for example, if you pictures the headquarters, Subway, Starbucks, or IKEA, or, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, for example. All these is a big one globally. They go, the people they work underneath those, like we're dealing with the locally, they call them subsidiary. That's what they deal with. Also, they have pressure from the locally, dealing with the customers in daily basis. So this is, they take sometimes the idea. For example, you know, is in Cincinnati's, one of the subsidiary, they came with the idea about the fish sandwiches through McDonald's. That idea went all the way to the headquarters level strategy, and after that's when they implemented it globally from the locals. So everything it has to do with the franchisee and the franchisor. The franchisor is the one who give those subsidiary, and the people who run those subsidiaries is the franchisee, and the franchisee give the idea to the headquarters and goes all the way to the top. The same thing in China, Kentucky Fried Chickens. India, IKEA. All these things they built their own, the managers. They whatever the locally they need, they will provide it for them. And they will help them. And they will create the brand they need to become successful. So the managers take all this strategy, put the model he wants to become successful, and satisfy the need locally, and sit down and watch the organization grow. And we have to remember the quality, the innovation, the technology, the response of the customer, all working together in this. The goal is to differentiate yourself from another firm to become successful, or to become locally and selling prices with the cost and sell is less than another firms. When they do these kind of things, either cost leaderships or differentiation leadership strategy, they have 3 members. They're going to reach the value creation frontier, and they become successful in their life. So the managers, that's his job, is to look at these models and build it according to the customer need, and have to implement the strategy to become successful and meet competitive advantage, and this competitive advantage to becomes sustainable competitive advantage. Thank you.